What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions of the chosen one himself, Anakin Skywalker. Now, very quickly before we get started, I just have a few things to address. First off, thank you guys so much for 10k subscribers. I cannot thank you all enough for the crazy support you've given me over the last few months. We managed to hit 4k subscribers on Christmas Day, and to already be at 10k only 2 months later is just so crazy to think. So again, thank you all so much. It really does mean a lot, and hopefully we can reach that big 20k sub goal by the end of the year. Now, secondly, I need to give a massive shout out to my man Paul John. He gave me a massive shout out after Dooku arrived, and it's only fair that I give him one in return. For those of you who don't know PJ, this guy is easily one of the better players in the world. It's almost impossible to say who is actually the best player, but PJ is definitely up there with some of the best in the game. I'm not joking when I say he already has a 109 kill streak with Anakin after less than 12 hours of release, so please go and check him out, guys. His link will be in the description. Make sure to drop a sub and be prepared to see some of the most crazy kill streaks on YouTube. So anyway, with all of that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get stuck into my first impressions. Now, starting off with Anakin's appearance, I think the guys and girls at DICE have done a really decent job at getting the look and feel of Anakin as good as they can. Now, don't get me wrong, he doesn't look perfect by any means, and to be honest, I think of all the 4 characters we've received so far, he's probably the one that is the least similar to the real life appearance. However, he still looks good enough that it isn't really an issue at all. He looks much better in-game than the screenshots we saw as well, so I can't really complain about his looks, as I'm sure it's next to impossible to get their faces 100% accurate. In terms of his voice lines, they do sound slightly off as well. Again, not enough that it's really an issue, and not enough that I'd ever be really complaining about it, but I do have to say it how I see it, and I do think they're just slightly too deep and yeah, just a little different than I was expecting. Now, in saying that, every character in the game has slightly different voice lines and look to their real life appearance, as it is a video game, so it's never going to be perfect, and so I'm sure in a week from now I'll be completely used to it, and so again, probably sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm more than okay with how he looks and sounds so far. Now, moving on to how he actually plays, and boy is he powerful. I'm going to straight up say I already think he's easily the best saber user in the game, and easily one of the best in the game overall, so I definitely have no complaints there. In HVV, he's pretty much unbeatable in a 1v1 unless they just don't know what they're doing. I've played as him against some really good players and just smacked them around in a 1v1, but then I've also played against him as Vader and Grievous and some of those really tanky characters, and I've had my ass handed to me as well, so he's definitely an animal when it comes to HVV. I think he's as close as you can possibly be to being overpowered, but in a good way. He's not going to just throw the balancing out the window, and with the help of a few teammates, you can still make very quick work of him. I think it's very possible that he may see a very slight nerf in the next update, and I'm not completely against that, just as long as it's not too much of a nerf. But again, at the same time, I'm pretty happy with how powerful he currently is, as the light side definitely does need another really good character. Now, as for Galactic Assault, I have only actually played 1 round as Anakin, which you're seeing on screen now, and apologies for the low quality. This was just recorded on the PlayStation, since this was actually from my live stream last night. Even though I have only played 1 round with him, I can already tell that he's an absolute animal in GA as well. I think this ended up being maybe a 26 kill streak, which obviously isn't anything special, but for a first attempt and with pretty much no star cards at all, I think a 26 kill streak is pretty decent and definitely speaks more about how good he is rather than my actual own skill level. My first attempt with all the other new characters never ended up higher than a 10 kill streak, I don't think, so I can already tell that he's definitely very decent, and I'm pretty keen to get stuck into some games after this video goes up and try and see if I can crack that big 50 kill streak within the first day. Now, lastly, his abilities are also extremely powerful, but again, none of them are really overpowered as far as I can tell. They all serve a really good purpose, and they seem to be really good in both HVV and Galactic Assault, so overall I'm pretty happy with how his abilities are already. I think his Heroic Might ability might need a slight nerf, as J King Ingram actually tweeted as I was recording this, and he actually mentioned that it can do almost 1,000 damage if he takes enough damage while charging it up. So that may possibly need a nerf, but in saying that, if you're dumb enough to shoot at him while he's charging it, then you probably deserve to take 1,000 damage, so I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out. But that is pretty much it for my first impression on Anakin, guys. I know it was super short, but there's not too much to go over in a video like this, and I do want to get this uploaded as soon as possible so that I can get started on my Anakin Mythbusters video. There's a heap of things I want to test for that video, so keep your eyes peeled over the coming days for that one, and if you do have anything you want me to test in that video, then definitely feel free to let me know down in the comments. Again, thank you all so much for 10k subs. Hopefully you're all having a lot of fun with Anakin so far, and hopefully I can get a hero guide out for you guys soon to get some massive kill streaks. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.